Welcome back to the channel, everybody. As we are approaching the end of the season, me and Connor are going to be grading each team's Premier League performance, giving them a grade from A to potentially a U. Obviously, A being the best, U or F being the worst. We're going to grade it overall, so that includes cup competitions as well. So should we get into it, Connor?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Right, let's start properly. AFC Bournemouth.
Yep.
What are we giving them?
I gave him a B.
Yeah, I'll give them a B as well.
Yeah. I just feel like they've done as good as they hoped for, really. Like, especially after the sacking of Gary O'Neill, you know, they took a risk with Areola coming in. Bit of uncertainty at the start of the season.
He didn't win his first 10 games.
Exactly, yeah.
Could have easily given them the shop.
Yeah, and now look at them. They're flying, getting goals. Solanke,
He's in with a shout at the England squad as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And some of the results they've got this season, like they beat Man United.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they've done that since like the 90s, something like that. It's
unbeaten home and away as well.
Yeah.
So they've got a draw at their place. Beat Newcastle as well.
And they're 11th.
So, yeah, I mean, if you said that at the start of the season, you'd be like, how the hell are they getting 11th sort of thing?
And they're only separated below Brighton by goal difference.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So
and look at Brighton,
that says a lot. You
how
know
much
how
money they've got.
You know the hype Brighton get. So Bournemouth is a B.
Yeah. Cool.
Right, on to Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
What have we given them?
I'm giving them an A.
I was tossing and turning between an A and a B.
So was I, to be honest.
I've decided I'm going to give them a B.
Yeah, okay.
Just because, you know, they haven't won any trophies.
They haven't, yeah, true.
Yeah. Obviously, they've been immense in the league.
Yeah.
Really good scorers. And what done it for me is the Champions League run.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone was hyping up, oh, we want Madrid. They barely scraped past Porto.
Yeah.
And I know it's Bayern Munich, but it's possibly one of the worst Bayern Munich teams in over a decade.
Yeah, true.
And they got beaten by them. So that's what's done it for me.
Yeah, I can
But I think if they win the title, it pushes up to an A.
Yeah, definitely.
But because of how they haven't been competitive in the cups and they haven't won a trophy, that pushes them down to a B for me.
To be honest, with my list in general, I just focused on the league, so our grades may differ because of that.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I've done it across all competitions.
Yeah, so obviously they were expected at the start of the season to challenge for the title, if not win it.
And they are doing that.
With their signings like Timber, Rice, you know, big names coming in.
They've all done well. Obviously, Timber got injured start of the season, so that's kind of hard to.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing him next season. But I feel like the signings of Rice he's been their main man. Like without him, this run wouldn't have been possible.
He's their Rodri.
Yeah,
isn't he really?
Yeah, and Havertz as well. I feel like he's really come to his own.
He's looking good now.
Yeah, I like him as sort of a target man / on the wing where they boot a ball up to him. He holds it up, brings people into play.
He's a big boy.
He's definitely adapted to how he was at Chelsea. He was non-existent at Chelsea.
Yeah.
So
we'll just give him a B+.
Yeah,
average grade B+.
Go for it.
Aston Villa. I might have been a bit harsh with this, but I gave him a B.
A B. Okay, I went A again with Villa. I thought, but go for it.
Well, what done it for me is I know it can be very recent.
Yep.
But the losses to Olympiacos, I think a team like Villa, you'd expect them to go and.
That did shock me. Like it was like with Brighton as well. They struggled in Europe, and you'd think like how good their teams are in terms of their depth and all that. You'd think they should be beat, as you said, Olympiacos. No one expects them to challenge top 4. Except me.
Yeah, I may owe you 50 quid at the end of the season. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
My bank's going to be like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, no, you see a lot of them like pretty the 7th, 8th or whatever, and now they're sitting in 4th, they're doing really well.
And some of their individual player performances as well. Like I think Leon Bailey was out in the cold last season. He's come in, played really well.
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins is a monster, probably the best player in the Premier League this season.
Yeah. And they've got signings of Diaby, Tielemans, Torres, you know. It's hard to make them click as well. Obviously there's no new signings, loads of them coming in, and he's made them click.
You know what? I'll push them up to an A. I'll be nice and push them up to an A.
Yeah, fair enough. So overall, A for Villa.
Yeah, A for Villa. Right. On to Brentford. I'll give them a D.
I went E. I just thought that was a very underwhelming season.
Yeah, I've looked here. They are below Everton, who have had points deductions.
That's one of my points here. Yeah.
Actually, I might push them down to an E. You know, obviously the ban with Ivan Toney obviously didn't help them.
The thing is with that, is it's sort of self-inflicted. They'd never really got a replacement in. They knew he was going to be suspended. It was never really, you know, they sort of chucked Visser up top, put them.
Visser's done well for him, but he's not an Ivan Toney.
Exactly.
He's not going to have the impact of Ivan Toney.
They needed like a 1-year loan of like a decent quality striker, you know, someone who's maybe not getting the game time. I don't know, mate, like Danny Ings or something, or something up there.
I'd actually give him Danny Ings.
Yeah, of course, exactly, but not like chucking wingers up front, to be honest. So it's kind of self-inflicted, I think, this season.
I just think they've just been flat as well. Like I remember when they came up, they was exciting, like new style.
Definitely.
Now I think they've been figured out a bit.
Poor recruitment as well. I think like Kevin Shard, he's not been very, very great since he's come in this season. But yeah, I went with an E. Brentford.
I gave him a D, but after the discussion, I'll sit with an E. That's fine by me. Right, on to the Seagulls, Brighton.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've been harsh here,
Okay.
but I've given them a D.
Same. I went D.
Oh, I'm not being harsh.
Yeah, no.
I just think the fall off from seasons past. Obviously, they are in the top half still. You can't ignore that.
Yeah.
But you think the talks around De Zerbi this season?
Yeah.
I know Italian managers are passionate and they are fiery, but he's looked in more and more frustrated game by game.
Yeah, yeah.
And for me, that's hinting at something going on.
Yeah, I feel like he hasn't really learnt how to adapt his style, the way he plays. Like they get so many injuries, like Estepinian, Lamptey, Enciso, Solly March.
Key players.
Big players. Solly March last season was amazing.
I've barely seen Solly March.
Yeah,
this season.
he's only played like 10 appearances, I think. So he hasn't really adapted to. Obviously, they're always high flying, and they're getting them injuries, and they're still high flying, and it's not going to work with them players missing. They've got to sort of have a little defensive game. You know what I mean? Try and limit
especially
the goals.
in the Premier League, the teams they're going to come up against. I mean, they've done well in Europe.
Yeah, and
obviously against Roma they were going to struggle.
Of course, yeah.
But to get out of the group that they had is quite impressive. But I just think more recent they just seem to like fade off a little bit.
Yeah, they had no clean sheets up until like the game week number 15, or you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Like they've got to stop them goals getting in.
Yeah, because that will lead to further problems. And if you didn't see my predictions video, I did have them to go down by 2030.
Yeah, it's a big call.
So there were some big calls in that video. I'm quite proud of them.
But check it out. It was
a good video. I was quite proud of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, enough talking about our videos, and on to one of the first few teams of relegation.
Yeah.
Confirmed today, Burnley.
Yeah. I went with an F. It can't be any more than.
Yeah, it's like you said. They didn't adapt their style.
No. They still think they're in a championship sort of thing, don't they?
None of their performances have impressed me.
No.
I mean, the 5-0 against Sheffield is more how shit Sheffield is.
Yeah.
I wasn't really impressed by that. Yeah.
More on them later.
I wasn't impressed by that. I was like, it's Sheffield United.
Exactly. You got to be winning them games.
But I think maybe it's a lesson learned from Company.
Yeah.
And I think, in my opinion, they'd be silly to get rid of him. I think giving him a few more seasons, he'll adapt. Obviously, he's won trophies as a player. He knows how to win.
Yeah.
Just give him a couple more seasons.
Yeah, and I think they just need to adapt their transfer policy. Instead of getting all the... Like, it's sort of similar to Chelsea. They're getting all the young players in, expecting them to shine, but they need some experience. I mean, the only experience they've really got in there is, your Jay Rodriguez. Yeah. As you said, it'll be a lesson learned. Company, because he's proved he can get them back up. So, stick with Company, but F for me.
F for the season. Right, on to Chelsea now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I've given them a C.
C?
Yeah.
A C?
Yeah, people ain't talking about how much they've improved since Christmas. They've had their little moments of shakiness.
Yeah.
But they're 2 points off of Europa League spot.
Yeah. It said here that they've turned up in their last 5 to 10 games.
That's probably what's done it for me. It's a bit of bias, bit of recency bias. But the way they have been playing recently, I know obviously they lost 5-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah.
But like I said, they're performing well in the league. Cole Palmer's playing out of his skin.
Yeah.
Pochettino's found something, I think. If they have a few windows of getting rid of Deadwood, smart signings, maybe that could be a problem. But for me, it's a C.
To be on that though, spending over $1 billion.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you mean.
That's why my grade is so low for him. I went with an E.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah. I just feel like they've. Not make the top 5. Obviously, they might do, but it's very unlikely that they'll make it.
I don't think they can.
Nah.
Looking here, I don't think they can.
Yeah, so it's not making the top 5 when you're spending that amount of money. You've got to have some logic to your signings as well as, you know, and they haven't. And obviously, they've had a few good players that have clicked. Gusto, Palmer, Petrovic in goal. He's not been too bad. But I just feel like, yes, they've suffered with injuries, but with the amount of money they spend, surely you should recognise that will happen. You know, you're going to get injuries throughout the season. You've got to prepare for that. And they haven't. They've signed players who are injury prone. Like, look at Badia Shil, he had some problems at Monaco, they signed him. I just feel like it's another self-inflicted one with them. So that's an overall grade of a D then.
On to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace just do what they do. I'll give them a C.
Same, I think
it's middle of the road, isn't it?
Yeah, it went for their new manager, Oliver Glasner.
If we was going off like the last 5 games, they'd be an A.
Oh, definitely.
They've been unreal the last few games.
Yeah.
Mateta's clicked, Elise's clicked.
Yeah, they're unbeaten in the last 6 games.
Exactly.
Beat United and Liverpool in that run as well. So they've been amazing.
Yeah, we can't go off the last 5 games.
No, of course not. But I think they took a risk with sacking Hodgson and it's paid off. You know, Oliver Glasner has been amazing. You know, got a tune out of Mateta somehow. I mean, he looked like just a mediocre, striker.
Beefy French forward.
Yeah, he just looked mediocre, and now he's just turned him into a goal scorer. So same. I went with a C for Palace. So.
C for Palace.
Yeah.
Right, on to Everton now. I've given them an E. Don't know if that's harsh.
I think that's quite harsh, to be honest. I went with a B with Everton.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Especially their point deductions.
Yeah.
And
but what's done it for me is obviously the back-to-back losses against Luton.
Yeah.
It's a bit
Yeah.
dodgy. And for a team who have the big aspirations of an Everton,
Yeah.
some of their performances just haven't cut the mustard for me.
I feel like, to be fair, a lot of the people below them have been really poor. That's why they've survived comfortably. You know,
how many did they get deducted? Like 10, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it got reduced down to 7 once they appealed it.
Yeah,
sank around 7-8 points in
that
total.
is crazy.
Yeah.
That's like a couple wins at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Just get that scrubbed off the board.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like they've done well to survive comfortably, and I feel like Dyche can rebuild and hopefully get like a mid-table finish next season, because they've shown they can do it. Shown they can get a good run of performances. So yeah, I went with a B. So would you go?
An E, so it's an average grade of about a C or a D.
Yeah, it's at E/D. Yeah, cool.
We'll be nice and give them a C.
Cool, no worries.
All right, on to Fulham. I've just given them a C. To be
Same.
Middle of the road.
Yeah, I feel like first half of the season they weren't great. Saw sort of how they were impacted after Mitrovic left.
To be fair, Rodrigo Muniz
been
a brilliant.
Second half of the season, mate. He's been on fire. They sort of relied on Jimenez for the start of the season, and he was awful.
Yeah.
And now, as you said, Rodrigo Muniz, what a player, doing really well.
Yeah, for me, like I said, it's just middle of the road. They're not in danger of going down. They're not going to challenge. They're just there.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, they had that little run when they won 5-0 back to back.
Yeah.
That was impressive, but we can't go off that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
If it was just for that, I'd give them a B or an A.
Yeah.
But for me, it's got to be a C.
Same.
Right, on to one of the few big boys now, Liverpool.
I went with a C.
I went for a D.
D, yeah?
Yeah.
I just feel like they've dropped off so much in the last 10 games. Yeah. Like, lost to Palace at home. Like, come on. Like, title race, you've got to be smashing them 3-4
And like
goals.
I said, I'm basing it across a whole season, so like Europe, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Their performances in Europa League just haven't been up to scratch.
Yeah, Atalanta losing like 3-0 at home, wasn't it?
3-0 at home, yeah.
Double, yeah. It's just...
When Skamaka's scoring a double against you, it's a problem. He scored more goals in that game than he did for us. The whole time he was with us, it was, we're going to win everything now, Klopp's left. You finish with a Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
Like, it's a trophy.
It's very underwhelming, isn't it? Like, you think
that,
they'd, go out on a high and, do it for Klopp, but haven't really,
Yeah, like a Carabao Cup, they're like, we're going to go for all 4. You're not. It's just the fall off in recent games. Yeah. Obviously, McAllister's been great for him.
Yep.
Transitioning from a 6 to a 10, he's done really well. Soboslai's fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, hasn't been really been the signing that everyone expected, but as I said, first season, you never know.
Yeah, he's still young as well. He's like 23, 24.
Exactly.
It's a different league. I think, because of the fall off, the whole fallout with Salah.
Yeah, he could be leaving as well.
Yeah. So for me, it's a D.
I'll go with D with it as well. Yeah, I'll change mine. We'll go D overall.
Right, on to another potential relegation candidate, Luton. I think because of how they were, portrayed before they came up, I'll give them a C.
Same. I want to C as well.
I think to do what they've done with what they have is brilliant. Obviously, beating Brighton 4-0 is a great highlight from the season. Obviously, they've done the back-to-back against Everton.
Yep.
They was always up against it.
Yeah.
They were given no chance. People predicted them to finish 20th.
Yeah. And I feel like they really took it to the big boys of the league. Do you know what I mean?
They just went brave. They were just like, let's go for it.
They got a 4-4 draw at St James's Park.
Yeah, I forgot about that game.
They beat Newcastle as well at home.
Yeah.
Drew to Liverpool. I think Luis Diaz got a 95th
they was like
minute.
5 seconds away from winning that as well. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I feel like they can be proud of what they've done, even if they go down. And who knows, if they survive, it'll be great for the league. I think
it would be brilliant.
They're a good addition, I think, to the Prem.
Yeah, Luton, what they've done with what they've got, I think C is a fair enough grade.
Definitely.
Right, on to your club now, Man City.
Yeah.
I've given them a B.
Yeah, I went A, but if you're judging in Champions League, fair enough.
Because like I said at the start of the video, I'm basing it across the whole season.
Yep.
Obviously, you've been great, you're City. Like, it's always going to happen. But for what done it for me was the Champions League performance. I was expecting more.
Yeah.
Winners last season. I know you said in previous videos, and you said to me in private, I'm not too concerned about trophies this year. We've got the elusive one, we've got the treble.
Yeah.
But for you to go out how you did against Real Madrid, for me, it was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
But like you said, if you won the treble last season, so is it really a big deal?
The thing that's frustrating is that obviously a second leg, we did throw everything, not everything, we threw things at it, and we should have got something there. They just showed why they're Real Madrid. They're made for these big games. I feel like we kept Jude quiet for over them 2 legs, but it's just the Champions League. Anything can happen. But obviously, what I'm judging on is a Prem. So I feel like we had a slow start, as we always do. It seems to become a theme now. We have a slow start. But yeah, signings like Gvardiol and Kovacic have really impressed over the second half of the season.
Gvardiol in the second half of the season has been absolutely amazing.
Bagged the brace. Could have had a hat-trick as well today.
He would have been the first defender to have a hat-trick as well.
Yeah, he
should have let him take the pen.
But then we've won our last 7 games in a row now. It's just what we do towards the back end of the season, isn't it?
But yeah, just for your whole performances over a season, cups as well. Obviously, you still got the FA Cup to play against Man United.
Yeah, cool.
And the way they've been recently, that should be a trophy in your hands.
Yeah.
If you win the league, I'll give you an A.
Yeah.
So should we call it a B for now?
Yeah, we'll go B now. Yeah, why not?
Talking of Man United, on to your neighbours.
Yeah.
What have you given them?
D.
I gave them an E.
E, yeah.
I was a bit more harsher.
Yeah.
Like I said, across the whole season.
Yeah, especially in Champions League.
Yeah, looking at some of the teams they've lost to this season.
Yeah.
You know, Bournemouth, Copenhagen,
Galatasaray.
I think they lost to Galatasaray.
Yeah.
It's just not acceptable.
No, it's not.
And I think Ten Hag will be gone end of the season.
Yeah.
Did you see him against Crystal Palace last weekend?
Yeah.
But defending was awful.
Battered.
It was League 2 standard defending.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for their performances, their off-the-field problems as well are still persisting. It's a little bit embarrassing for a club that stature. Performances and things off the pitch, I've got to give them an E.
Yeah.
They just haven't impressed me.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel like they're just not going to chuck another 200-300 mil in the summer. You know, I mean, we still get branded the money card. We throw things at it.
They've spent more than you.
I know. Exactly.
By at least 200-300 million.
We've got like the 4th net spend in the whole division, but yeah, they'll just throw another load of money at it, and then they'll put the blame on someone, and then it's just what United do. So I went with a D. United
I'll give them an E. Should we just be harsh and give them an E?
Yeah, go on, go for it, United.
Right, on to Newcastle. Now, this was a bit of a tough one for me.
Same.
There's a few asterisks around their season. Also, they've had a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
But of course, they do have this money.
Yeah.
And I know, obviously, there's financial fair play involved. They can't just go out and spunk 300 million about.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard for me to grade. What did you give them?
I went with a B.
I gave them a C.
C, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's that crazy a grade.
Yeah, I just feel like no one expects obviously to get in the Champions League again alongside Champions League games this season. Yeah. So it's always going to be hard, but to get Europa League football, I think that's a good achievement.
Yeah, and of course they beat PSG as well.
Yeah. As you said, lots of injuries, but they still kept that level of consistency. I feel like you get teams that like United, like Chelsea, who blame injuries for their season and all that. But I feel like Newcastle have sort of overcome it. They've sort of, dealt with the injuries and still got performances. Yeah.
So, obviously, Isak, I think, has gone under the radar this season.
Definitely.
A lot of people are not talking about his performances.
Yeah, I did put him in my team of the season. It was just for an honourable shout, because I feel like he did deserve a shout in there.
He's in with a shout of the Golden Boot, so it's not that outrageous.
Yeah, and I feel like, as it was covered in your video, Eddie Added, I think he deserves to be in the next year. He can still build and be at Newcastle. But as you said, the owners, I think, will inevitably look at it and go, we need a bigger manager.
So what was the average grade?
We'll give him a C. I don't mind giving a C.
I'm happy with a C. Right, Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
I've given them an F.
Same, yeah.
Just, again, they wanted to get rid of Deadwood.
Yeah.
They did that, and then they brought in more.
I know, yeah.
They're not helping themselves. This is why the squad's not going forward. There's too many players there. They're not going to click.
There's a lot of Premier League teams just like it's a Chelsea situation. Just throw a load of players in. It never works. Like it's never going to work.
It's the Chelsea situation, but they're just more shit.
Yeah, like even back in the day, I think QPR did it as well. They just throw a load of players in and hope they stick, and it never. It's not going to work like that. And obviously they sacked Steve Cooper. And brought in Nuno. I don't think there's been a difference in performance.
I think you would have got the same level of performance. To be
exactly.
Honest.
Yeah, and I just feel like, especially their owners as well, they seem like they're so erratic. Like obviously the tweets that went out after the Everton game.
That was just out of frustration, but still, I'm not making an excuse for them. No, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's just childish. So overall, I went with an F. Even if they stay up, it's an F.
Yeah. I'm happy with an F. Right, Sheffield United.
F. Move on.
Can we give them a U? Is it possible to give them a U?
Yeah.
No, we have to grade them F. Absolutely dog shit.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they say Derby are the worst team of all time. There's a shout for this Sheffield team.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I never really watched the Premier League properly back then. I wish I could have, so I could compare.
We were like 6. We wouldn't have known what that was.
Exactly, but yeah, it can't get any worse.
They conceded over 100 goals.
That is ridiculous.
The last team to do that,
I
was watching on Match of the Day, and I'm sorry if I get the date wrong, it was Swindon in 93-94.
Jesus Christ.
So a 100 goal conceding season hasn't happened in about 30 years.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
they bring in a guy Heckingbottom who's never played he's never been in the Premier League.
He's a good Championship manager.
Yeah, and it's just like what do you expect? And then you bring Chris Wilder back in. Like, what do you
it's
think
like
he's
going
back
do? To an ex, isn't it? Like it's going to happen the same way. It's just,
yeah.
But of course, like some of their results, they lost more than 4-0 like 5 times this season.
Yeah.
obviously the 8-0 against Newcastle was...
Yeah, I just feel like they're stuck in the Championship. Like they brought in Hamer, who's good in the Championship, never proven in the Prem. Blown in Brereton Diaz, who was good in the Championship, never proven in the Prem.
He flopped at Villarreal as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just...
It is a Championship squad.
Yeah, I think it's just got a grade of F written all over it.
Yeah. If it was possible, we'd give him a U.
Yeah.
On to Spurs. I've given them a C.
Same. Yeah.
Start of the season, they were off like an absolute rocket.
Yeah, they were 1 point ahead in game week 10.
And then they've done a typical Spurs thing, just bottling it.
Yeah.
But what's fucked them this season has been their depth.
Yeah, injuries.
I was saying this to my dad, who's a Tottenham fan.
Yeah.
If you had more depth, you'd have more chance.
Definitely.
Why do you think Arsenal and City are doing so well? They've got depth.
I think it's that balance. Obviously, you've seen Nottingham Forest. They've got too much depth. You need just that good amount of depth. They'll get game time. They'll get minutes. Every player will get minutes.
Tottenham's starting 11's quality.
Yeah, 100%.
But they don't have the depth to deal with tough times in the season.
Definitely. Yeah.
Then again, give Postecoglou a couple more seasons. I mean, he does play good football, and it has clicked well sometimes.
Yeah.
But I feel like he needs to go, right, who's going to fit my system, who's not. We know who's going to fit it. We can see, but he just needs a couple more seasons.
Yeah, I just feel like he needs in some games he needs to adapt. I feel like it's the same. He keeps like going for these attacking,
which is good. It's good compared to Conte's football.
100%.
But sometimes you just have to admit, right, we're going to have to defend.
Yeah.
So we're giving Spurs a C. Right, on to my club, West Ham. I'll give us a D.
D, yeah. I think that's quite harsh. I went with a C, personally.
Some of our results this year, I'm not going to go into a rant because I could rant for about an hour.
Yeah.
But some of our performances this season have been Championship. Like the team.
The Arsenal one was a real killer, wasn't it? That one.
I was watching that, and that was the closest I've been to tears in about a decade.
Especially with Rice scoring as well.
That was like a dagger in the heart. That was. But like some of the performances this season, Paqueta. He's looking more reckless. He's losing his temper.
It might just be that move to City, He might just be fed up now and wanting to get gone. Do you know what I mean?
That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kudus has been an amazing signing this season. I mean, obviously, Lopetegui's coming in next season. I'm not going to lie, I see it as another Pellegrini situation.
So do I. I'm not really
I don't
fond
see
of
it going well.
I'm not fond of it either.
I wasn't fond of it, but... you can only wait and see. Yeah, I gave us a D.
Yeah, I'll agree with a D with that one.
Yeah. Just our performance just haven't been up to scratch.
No worries.
Right, last but not least, Wolverhampton Wanderers.
I went with a B for Wolves.
See, I went a high C, low B.
Yeah. I just feel like Gary O'Neill, at the start of the season...
He does not get the praise he needs.
Definitely not.
There's a lot of people online, a specific person online, who does not like Gary O'Neill one bit.
Which is? Call him out.
We're going to call him out. He won't see us because we're too small, but the Irish guy.
Oh, yeah,
he hates Gary O'Neill.
Really?
Will not acknowledge when Wolves do well.
Oh, okay.
And it annoys me because, obviously, I know English managers have not got the pizzazz of foreign managers.
Yeah.
That's your standard. But for what he was, tasked with, start of the season, he came in, a few days before the season started?
Yeah.
And the performances they've done, they should be proud of them.
I've picked them to finish bottom. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. A lot of people did.
No Neves, no Nunez as well. Both left. Their core of their midfield gone.
Pedro Neto was out still.
Yeah.
He's been amazing for him.
Yeah, and he's got like the likes of Lamina and, all them, like João Gomez as well, doing quality 10 out of 10 performances. Yeah. And Wolves, I think, they're counted so lucky to be where they are. I think Gary O'Neill's sort of, pushed them above what they should be.
But yeah, I've given them a C.
Yeah, I went B, so we'll go C, I don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine.
C overall.
Yeah, so that is the end of the video, guys. Have we been right to grade these teams? Have we been a bit too harsh? We'll definitely get comments being too harsh.
Oh yeah,
but that's fine.
There's always a comment in there.
That's fine. We love comments.
Yeah.
Don't forget to put your own grades in the comments below if you feel like it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We'll catch you next one, guys. See you later.